Hey everyone! Since this is fresh in my mind, I just recently came back from Atlanta, Georgia. My friends and I went backpacking to Mount Yonah, and what I brought with me from Houston was just some clothes and my climbing gear. And I bought the Osprey SnowKit Duffel. It's the 45-liter bag. And I thought this would actually help me, but turns out I think there are some flaws about this bag in general, so while it's fresh in my head, I kind of want to just get it out and let you guys know. This is what I packed in it. Alright, here we go. This top portion right here, I actually liked it. It can hold your helmet, so I brought my helmet with me. I have the Petzl Boreo helmet that I brought to go climbing with. So on the sides, I hooked on two of my climbing shoes. There weren't that really many places to put it on, so I put one on a D-ring. So I have my Sportiva Squamas, my aggressive shoes. I also brought my Evolve Kiras on the other side, so I kind of hooked it somewhere else. On the side panel is where you can put your water bottle compartment. So here is a, I believe 48-ounce Nalgene bottle, so that's what I put in here. And that's kind of like the compartment. Sorry about the lighting. I'm using my MacBook. Normally I would use a camera, but that's kind of what it is. So same side where the water bottle compartment, there's another side one. So I'm going to pull here and open it up. And here is my harness. So my harness was on the side compartment where I also had my water bottle. Oh, on this side, is another compartment, the side compartment. We're going to get to the bottom part right here, where the flat panel is. This is where all of your main items will be, is under this flap. So here's one issue. When I ordered my Osprey 45-liter pack, when I got it in the mail, I got it 2 days before my trip. It turns out they gave me the wrong pack, and how I know is from the photos, there's a mesh pocket on the flap. Now this is also a 45-liter bag, but I'm assuming they sent me a different version of it, because what I was looking for was also the pocket on the mesh, but they didn't send me that. But again, I still had to use it. They are sending me a replacement, but I think overall I'm going to double check. Alright, so here's all my stuff. I have a compression pack with some clothes, some Sperry's, Chacos, so also another pack. So I ended up bringing 3 compression clothes. I brought 12 quick draws with me because that's what I needed for lead climbing. Chalk bag. Microfiber towel, and that's basically it. So for the flap portion, on the original inventory of what you see on the website, you'll see a mesh pocket. So as we can clearly see, there is no mesh pocket. So I did call REI and tell them what the issue was, and they sent me a replacement. I had to use this one for my trip as soon as possible, and luckily REI has this satisfaction return guaranteed, no questions asked, and they sent me a replacement. So the big thing why I wanted this pack was because since this is a SnowKit Duffel, I saw the compartment where people put in their snowshoes. Well, for my purpose is my rope. So on the bottom compartment right here, so this is kind of what sold me, was that I wanted to put my rope. So this is what I have in that shoe compartment is my rope. So I think because they sent me a different version of the 45-liter bag, that it didn't go all the way down for the compartment. Because if I open up the flap, this is where the shoe compartment is supposed to be and where my rope is. So it takes up half of that room. So then again, in the original listing that I saw on REI, it didn't really show the full details of where this flap would be. I did see a bunch of other videos reviewing this pack, but then again, they also did not show this part. So here we go. Yep. So those are all of the items that I brought with me on my 6-day trip to Atlanta. Thankfully, my friends had some other Osprey backpacking packs that I could use, and we all shared during our camping trip. But I think overall, in my personal opinion, I don't think this pack is a really good pack for long distances. When I went to Atlanta, I went from Houston Airport to Atlanta Airport. Then I went to Atlanta Airport to the MARTA train station. So I think for, overall comfort, I would give this, honestly, a 4 out of 10 based off of comfort. Just because I filled it to the max capacity, and going from just even a short distance, all of the weight is carried onto my shoulders because I used it as a backpack. You can use this as a backpack, but due to the weight that I had so much on it, there was no hip strap on it. And then again, this is a duffel, so I think that's something to consider. I do plan on returning this pack and trying to find something else that works better for my climbing gear. I just thought this was a perfect bag until actually having to use it. If that's something that you're trying to research into, the SnowKit Duffel did, have its purpose for me over the 6-day trip, but I think overall I'm going to have to return it. I think some things to consider is which airline that you're taking. And my cheap self decided to take Spirit Airlines. And Spirit Airlines can be a hit or a miss, for sure. As you guys saw, my bag pretty much looks like a carry-on bag. So leaving Houston and going to Atlanta, I didn't get stopped, even with the helmet in that compartment. I got lucked out for that. But as I was leaving Atlanta and going to Houston, mind you, I had a flight at 6:45 in the morning, and one of the security guys in an orange vest stopped me right when I had my ticket scanned and I was about to walk through to get onto the airplane. The guy stops me and says, "Hold on. Let's make sure if your bag fits into the personal item compartment." And I'm like, no, this can't be happening. And that was a huge mess. I had to take off my helmet, and I think one of the things I should have done was put my helmet on my head. Doesn't matter how ridiculous I looked, I should have just put it on my head and, went right through, because technically my bag legit fit into that compartment when you have to measure it out. And yeah, I was not going to pay 25 bucks. I did everything I could. I even shoved my shoes into my bag and it still fit. And I think, depending on the airline, don't ever take Spirit. Don't ever take Spirit. No matter how frugal you are, don't ever take Spirit. That helmet right there was what stopped me from getting through the gate this morning, and it was a mess. Paying for an overhead bin is just ridiculous. But turns out when I got onto the plane, it turns out all the overhead bins were full, and I actually had to put my bag under the seat, and so I lucked out. but I just had to put my helmet in the overhead bin because it couldn't fit. I think just make good choices on which airline you decide to take. And in my personal experience, don't ever take Spirit, just depending on this bag as well. I kind of just don't recommend this bag at all, but this is my personal experience, so do what you will, but I hope this helps.